This conference will now be recorded.
Transcript.
It'll do it. We'll be getting started soon. We're just having a few technical issues. A couple members will be. It's always a challenge when we get this many people on screen.
For sure.
Hang on, I had to go to a separate document in order to copy and paste email addresses. I'll be right with you.
Hey,
Okay.
Dorothea, can you just send Lisa that?
I don't have the
Mark
link.
wanted it also.
All right, hold on. All right, I'm gonna go off screen.
Hello, this is Chris Harrington. Do I need to have a screen or can I just do it by phone?
You can do it by phone. Do it by phone.
Okay, great, thank you.
So everybody knows the first application at 65 State Street has been taken off the agenda for tonight. And Steve, you talked to those folks, right?
No,
Yes.
this is George.
Yes, I talked to her a little bit ago.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I only have Mark's Village of Pittsford email address. And he did not.
Oh,
want-
okay. Let me give you my other address. It's
Okay,
M as
just-
in Mark,
just-
D as in Garland.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Okay,
Mark.
hold on. I'm not at email right this second.
Gotcha.
Hold on, I'll get it. I got it. I'll find him and get it to him. Just give me a,
Okay, thank you.
Jenny, did you send it out to Lisa?
I have not. I only have both of their village emails address. Does Lisa want her village email address?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I already
Yes,
said,
okay, Mark, what is your email? Your personal email?
I got it.
Yes, it's M as in Mark, G as in Garland, Harrington, HARRINGTON,
Now I've got it.
001@gmail.com.
Now I've got it.
Thank you.
Okay, and
Thank you.
how about Lisa Coves?
All done.
Yes, I have hers. She was
Okay.
fine with her.
I'm here, right? Can you guys see me?
Nope, I can't see you, Lisa. I did
No,
send
we
it
don't.
to Mark.
You can't see me?
No,
No?
we can't see you.
You know, when I press on my camera, it says to share your screen, ask the organizer to make you a presenter.
I had the same trouble, Lisa. I had to shut down and restart my computer, if it's any help.
Well, I'm on my phone. Should I just try it again?
I just made you a presenter, so if it was gonna let you, it should now.
Okay, let's say. Go to meeting, start broadcast. Oh, okay, let's see. All right. Are you guys, can you see me now?
Nope, you're not, you're sharing your screen, you're not sharing your thing.
Now?
Yeah. Yeah, we see you now. This is not gonna work. You're sharing. I don't wanna do that.
Guys, I didn't get the HTTP, so see how you do. It's HTTPS : and a double /
Are you talking?
Lisa, you might have to log back in. Log in and out.
All right, I'll hang up. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Mark, did you get the email? Lisa, did you get the email?
The one just today? Just now?
Yeah, the one I just sent you. I sent it to your village email address, which is the one you said you wanted it to.
Yes, I got your email.
Okay, if the link doesn't work, you need to add the HTTPS :
Well, is it working?
Forward
Is
slash.
it working now?
Yeah, she's on through the link. She's fine. She just
Okay.
can't, you just
I
can't.
don't see her visual. I see her on, but not the visual.
Correct. You're seeing correctly.
So I can't be on then visually?
I'm not sure. You need to, your camera's not sharing. Try going up to the little here and see if your camera is not connected. Try connecting it. See if you can select it.
Mark, did you get the email with the link to the meeting?
I have your / global.gomeeting.com and then, yep, is that the one?
Yes, if it doesn't work, move your cursor to the far left and type in https:// and then add another // It might go without it.
Okay. I think we may be there. Hang on just a minute.
Okay, I tried through Ginny's email. Is that any different, guys?
No, it wouldn't be the same.
No. Still don't see your visual. You know, we may have to, in the case of both Mark and,
We'll have to move along.
we're going to have to move along. We've got both of them on the phone, right?
Okay, yeah.
So we have your voice. You have copies of the applications in front of you. So everybody's got everything they need. We just won't see your smiling faces. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Bill McBride. I'm
By the
chair.
way, Bill, I do see all of you.
Okay,
Okay.
that's good. Okay, all right, fine. I'm going to open this meeting. I'm Bill McBride, the chair of this HPB session tonight. And we're going to start with a statement by our village clerk as to what's going on here virtually and why we're doing it virtually. Dorothea, if you would, please.
Yep. Good evening, everybody. This is the Village of Pittsford Historic Preservation Board meeting, which is conducted virtually due to the COVID pandemic per the governor's orders, allowing us to do this virtually. Given this format, the Village Historic Preservation Board doesn't always take public comments regarding applications, but if you're having a problem or you need a question answered, there's a little chat button. If you look up on top of your screen, it looks like a bubble. You can send me a message and I will respond and pass on your concerns, or if we're having any technical difficulties. If there's any questions and concerns, please post them right there and I'll respond the best I can, okay? Any questions? Everybody good? All right, have a great meeting and I'll be listening if there's any issues. Thank you.
Okay. I'll start off the meeting by asking all members of the HPB whether they would like to recuse themselves from any of the applications before us. And Linda, if you would call the names, please.
Chairperson McBride.
I do not wish to recuse myself from anything.
Member Cove.
No.
Member Searle.
No, I will not recuse myself.
Member Morrow.
No, I don't need to recuse myself.
And Member Harrington.
No need to recuse.
Okay, start off. Just so everybody knows, the first application that was on our agenda tonight has been taken off 65 State Street because they're required to go before the zoning board before they come before us. So we're going to start tonight with 50 State Street, a window. And if the applicant, and I think I saw the applicant a second ago. If they would like to tell us, it's Lisa and John, right? And Lisa, John, if you would like to tell us what you would like to do.
Chairman McBride, before they get started, can I just ask a question? Is it okay if I make the motions according to the
Yes.
documentation? Okay, thank you.
Paul Vinos are muted.
They need to click the switch. They need to unmute themselves. There you go. Wait, there you go. Now you're green.
So do you want me to tell what we're trying to do now? Yeah. So we were hoping, just because of everything that's happening, we are not open for regular retail. We used to have people walk in off the street and come in and pick cupcakes up off the counter. And obviously COVID has really affected that a great deal. So what we're doing is weekend pre-orders and pickups. So we're hoping to put a window.
I hate to interrupt. I hate to interrupt, but I think Bill is frozen. Bill, are you there? The chair is not here.
Oh, yeah.
There, he's on Robert Corby's.
Bill, are you there? He touched something. Bill? Bill? Okay, I'll be calling Mr. McBride. I'll get back to the board in a second.
Mark Harrington, I see you twice.
Do you? I don't see me at all, which is fine with me.
It looks like you're on, like you've called in, but also you're on your computer.
Yes.
I am on my computer, yes.
I cannot reach Bill. He's not answering his phone. I will keep trying and I'll get back.
While you keep trying, is it okay, Jeff, if I ask the applicant a couple questions?
Hello?
Yeah, okay, Bill's on.
Hello?
Yeah,
Yes,
Bill,
Bill.
I can hear you.
I'm on.
Okay,
Something happened to my video. Do we have everybody now?
yes.
We're still here.
Okay. Okay.
So I had a-
I'm going to do without video. Okay.
So I had a
where I
question.
left off. Okay. Shoot.
Okay, so my question that the applicant just described, their need to do this window to help them survive with the COVID. So before COVID, what happened was your people who used to come in and pick up their cupcakes in person, and now you're saying that it'd be easier if they can just drive up and open the window and you slide it out.
Yeah, well, we had two things. We had order pickups and we also had walk-in retail.
Right.
And people would just come in on their lunch hour or on their way home from work or on their way to work to choose cupcakes off the counter.
Okay.
So now we're doing pickup. So people line up outside of the building and, they have to call and let us know they're there. We have to go out and, bring the cupcakes out. So we feel that this would help with that traffic backup, where if people could just drive through, tell us their name, we could hand it to them. But it would also give an attractive, like a safe, practical, easy way for people to come through on their lunch hour after work and get retail cupcakes as well.
Well, they wouldn't be able to see them, right? They wouldn't be able to see them because if they're going to drive through, they'd have to know what they want. So it's not like they're going to go to a window and look inside and see what's there, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
typically, we do get new customers, of course, but a lot of people are return customers, know what they're getting.
So would this prevent people from actually being able to come in? Would that be changed? So you can't come in anymore? It would just be drive through?
As of right now, we don't. What?
Explain that we're not open for retail.
Yeah, as of right now, they wouldn't be coming in. I don't know what will happen a month, 2 months down the road, but even if we were open for retail, this would still be a nice, convenient. People are really looking for convenience, ease. A lot of people are uncomfortable and want to do, people still choose curbside pickup. So I just feel like, I mean, we're way down for sales, so I'm just looking for ways. I love it down there.
Sure.
I'm looking for ways to stay there. And,
So,
you know,
yep. So do you anticipate them driving up alongside the curb with their car? Or do you anticipate them going and parking and walking up?
oh, no, drive through.
So they would be in their car and they would drive right up to your window.
Yep.
And then they just, okay. So what happens with people in line? Will there be cars lined up all along that curb waiting to get pickup?
Currently are.
Right now, people line up straight in front of the buildings.
Lisa, excuse me, this is Jenny Searle speaking. If I'm not mistaken, the drive-up window is going to be on the side of the building where there's another building immediately adjacent to you. Is that right?
Yes.
No, there's not a curb there, Lisa. I believe people will be lining up, I would hope, behind the building so they can come in. Are you going to have any sort of directional area for one-way traffic?
Yeah, they would come in through the front and then they would take a right down into the alley, get their
Oh, I
stuff
see it.
on the
Yeah,
driver's
I see.
side.
Yeah, I see. You guys sent us a diagram. That helps.
Yeah.
Yes, I see it.
And
So
then
it's on the side. It's in between Miguel Creative. I see that. So they
Yeah.
actually pull off the
So if
main.
I could interrupt for a second,
Yeah.
probably the traffic flow issues are not for this board. That would be more planning board issues.
I understand
That's
that.
right. That was my point.
Excuse
okay.
me, I understand that, Jeff, but it was clear that Lisa was asking a question without understanding how it was going to work. I was just trying to clarify.
That wasn't directed at anybody. I was just making a comment.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. Guys. Thank you.
I have one
Okay,
additional.
everybody understand that? Okay, then let's move on. Let's evaluate this. As I understand, there was a change today to the exact structure of the window, and the applicant has agreed to duplicate the front windows, but it would be an all wood window like the front window, except it's not casement, it's sliding window. Is that correct?
Correct. We're looking for a sliding window just for ease of opening and closing it to hand things through to the customers. The window that we found was a Lincoln window, and you have all the information in email, I believe, from you. And they were the same window that were used in another thing. I know Steve can talk to it, one over on Line Street that you guys approved not so long ago. So they're going to be similar, as close as we can get the trim to look to the trim that's on the windows right now. So they'll be the same as the two big casement windows on the front of the building as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, I spoke with Roger Colonial today, who they talked to in regard to the Lincoln window. Everybody should have received an email with specs on the window. It is a primed wood sliding window. They call it a gliding window. Through Lincoln is a primed exterior wood with brick molding applied, which would be exactly the same as the front windows and the doorway on the same surface, the side of the building. All the windows there, all have brick molding attached. The window would look exactly like the casement, the only difference being a glider / sliding window versus a casement, because you can't utilize a casement window on that side and have a drive-through.
Everybody clear about that? And the measurements of those windows are defined in the application, and the location of that window is defined in the application.
I don't.
Is anybody?
Excuse me, Bill.
Go ahead.
I don't see in the application that there are that it's any documentation of dimensions in the.
It's in an email I sent today, Jenny. I sent an email today regarding Lincoln window. 47 7/8 by 46 1/8 is a nominal stock size for a gliding window.
Okay, and what is the size of the windows that they're going to match, please?
Pardon?
What are the dimensions of the windows they're matching?
You mean the front window?
Windows on the front.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
They are 48 by 48 casement windows on the front of the building.
So it's the same dimensions of that window as on the front. And it is an all wood window like the front window, except it's sliding window versus a casement for obvious reasons.
Correct.
Correct.
Everybody clear on that? Any questions?
Yes. No.
Does it say what the height from the ground is?
We haven't worked that dimension in yet.
What's the height of the window from the ground?
We haven't worked that
Not the
dimension.
height, but
The height of the window will match the height of the door that's to the right of it. It's a standard height. It's 82 inches tall. That's the top of the door frame, and that's exactly the same height that the window would go in, so it matches the level and profile of the door that's to the right of it on the same wall. It's the way it's shown on the drawing, and that's the way anybody would install it, even with the head of the door, because it's a pretty typical application.
So Steve, that is documented that's documented in that additional information you sent us. The location
No,
of the window.
The original drawing shows the window mounted in the wall at the exact same height as the door.
Okay, thank you.
the only reason I ask is, you know, if people are going to drive up to it, it's got to accommodate that.
Well, that's why it's a 48-inch window.
You know, hand the.
Yes, you got to be at about 30.
Will be good. Okay.
They originally talked about a little smaller window, but the 48-inch height will accommodate a regular car, a smaller car, to be able to open the window and still handle the window.
You gotta pay that to me.
Okay,
Okay, so are there any other
So that's
discussions, questions, concerns by board members?
So I'd like
nothing?
to,
Nobody
make a
has anything?
motion.
Yes, why don't you make the motion?
At a meeting on the HPB on September 14th, 2020, the following motion was made. I make the motion that the HPB approve as submitted the application for a window made by Lisa Palvino at the property at 50 State Street, Building 2. Do I have a second?
Lisa, we got a reference. You got to reference what was brought in today in terms of the size of the window.
Well, that's why I stated as submitted. We have it in documentation as submitted, correct? So wouldn't that be as submitted?
Yeah, I would have said it.
Yes.
I think it's been amended by a later submission.
No, I don't think we didn't have that information until today, but we didn't have any, like, they didn't change the information. We just had additional information come in today with the dimensions.
Fine. Okay.
So it's all in the application. Is that okay, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So do I have a second?
Okay. Bill McBride, I second.
Bill, okay.
Okay. Member
How do we
McBride,
vote? Linda, call it. I vote yes.
Member Cove,
Yes.
Searle,
I abstain. I don't believe I've had sufficient time to study the documents that were provided at the last moment, so I will abstain.
abstain. Member Morrow,
Yes.
and Member Harrington.
Yes.
Okay. The application is approved, and you can pick up your permit at the village office. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. and Ms. Palvino, just get a hold of me and I'll walk you through the building permit application process and what needs to happen, okay?
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thanks, folks.
Have a good night.
The next application is 19 Eastview Terrace. Do we have somebody from that application present? Hello. Do we have somebody from the application of 19 Eastview Terrace present? Hello?
I'm looking. I'm not.
Mr. Wilson, are you online?
Nope.
Mr. Wilson, anybody from 19 Eastview Terrace online? We're going to have to move on to the next application then.
Right, Bill?
We'll try. Yes. Yes.
Bill, he called, I didn't realize, I got a call from Miami, Florida, which is his number. I will call him and find out what's going on.
Okay, all right, and we'll pick him up later if he can get back on. Okay? So I'm going to move to the next application, which is 3 Courtney Circle. It's a fence. Do we have anybody from 3 Courtney Circle online? Hello? Hello? I hear somebody faintly screaming in the background.
No,
He's got kids.
something.
Is that you, Ms. Stevenson? No?
Nope, she's
Not my house.
It's caller 4, I believe. I unmuted him to see if that was the applicant.
What about caller 5?
Caller 5, I believe.
Hello? So nobody
Hello?
from...
Hello? Hello?
3...
Hello? Hey! Can't you hear me?
We can hear you.
No, we
Hello?
can't.
Hello, we can hear you.
Who are you?
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Who are
Charles
you?
Konar. This is Charles Konar. 3 Courtney Circle.
Oh, okay. All right.
First time,
yeah, all right.
Since
we
the
couldn't
first
hear
time
you.
you asked, yes, but you know, there was no recognition that when you could, so it was a little frustrating there for a bit. I'm glad to be able to join in.
Okay.
It was educational.
Okay. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Charles, if you would describe what your application is about and what you'd like to do.
Of course. Well, yes. We've been in the house 32 years. If you read the addendum I had sent, when we moved in 30 plus years ago, there was an old fence that needed to be replaced, and quite honestly, we just got around to it after 30 years. In the pictures that I included with my application, you see a fence behind our house that stretches 3 homes, because there's a mansion in back of us that covers 3 homes on our street, and it's got pickets on it. The pickets on the fence that we want is the same. There's a close-up, so they look a little more craggy than what they do at a distance, but they're exactly the same pickets in exactly the same place the fence was. And I included a 4th picture that shows a wood fence just around the corner from me on the same street, just so that you can get a look. I don't have the waves in it. That's the Santa's house and their pool. And I guess my problem with this was I presumed if I was putting a fence up with the same pickets that have already been approved, I didn't realize I still needed to go in front of the preservation board. I apologize for that. I'd like to get this fence done, and I welcome what questions you guys have.
So I have a question for the applicant. So the fence that you are proposing is the exact same fence that was there before in the exact same position?
No, actually, we're a suburban street. The houses were built in 1960. Exactly the same is in a lot of ways. I don't mean to be negative, but it's not relevant because it's not obtainable anymore. I'm not going to pay for a custom built fence that somebody put in 50 years ago, because that stuff is no longer available. Again, this is not historic housing. The neighborhood.
No, I know.
I know.
My question is, is it the same material?
Excuse me,
Charles.
Excuse
go
me.
ahead.
Let me go back here. I have a fence behind my house that just went up in the last 2 years from the adjacent property, and I'm going for the exact same look. That house is in the village. okay? So if I'm already doing something that's been approved and covers a much bigger visual, and you can see this from a much bigger distance than my house, then I don't know what the relevance is of the pre-existing fence.
Charles,
Okay,
Charles, hold on. The only
Yes.
thing I'm asking, because I'm just asking for clarification, because you, in the beginning of your discussion, said that you were not sure why you had to come in front of the board. And if you were putting the exact same fence in, that would probably not have to come in front of the board. But since you're changing, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just clarifying the fact that you are changing the fence from what was there before, correct? Is it higher? Are the pickets different? Is it in the same exact location?
Of course it's in the same exact location. Absolutely. I was very careful, with that. But I looked over code, I looked at heights, and this is just your standard 4 foot fence.
Okay.
And I figured that since visually as you walk along the street, you see this fence behind, between any number of houses, that I would be able to use the same pickets without any issue.
And it's all wood?
Yes, indeed. Matter of fact, it's actually better made than the one behind me because it would be screwed together and not nailed.
Okay. And are there any gates? Are there any gates that you have submitted that are different than what was there?
Well, they would be a different picket, and that's exactly what I tried to show you in the pictures. They're just with a kind of a hidden clasp, and just actually the same as what we had before.
Okay.
Okay, so let me summarize this. It's the same exact location as it was before.
Yes.
No addition, no changes. Same exact location.
Yes, sir.
Same height, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. And is this fence, does it look the same on both sides so that you hide the structure on both sides?
You mean are the posts of the fence on the inside of the property?
Yeah.
So that they're not visual?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any other questions, concerns?
This is Jenny Searle. I noticed that when I drove by to look at the property, I did notice the wave fence. Is your fence? How does your fence? Is it right next to your neighbor's fence? Is what I'm getting at.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's not. That's a house in the neighborhood down the street, as I believe I previously stated. And I just put that in so that you would see the variety of fences that were pre-approved in our neighborhood, already approved in our neighborhood.
Excuse me, when I drove by there this afternoon, or when I walked by there this afternoon, it appeared to me as though that fence with the wave was in your immediate next door neighbor's yard. It is not?
No, you're confused on the house numbers. No, ma'am.
I'm just asking if it was, then I would have a question about how they interface.
No, and it's not. It's
So
not.
I
I
don't.
said it was down the street. Okay.
What I'm saying is that what I saw, I believed was right in your next door neighbor. The answer is it's not. Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the clarification.
Okay. Anybody else and on the board have any issues, questions, concerns?
Yes.
Everybody understand?
Some
proposal?
of the photos are of the existing fence.
I'm sorry, Ken, we're having trouble understanding you. Can you?
I said, are some of the photos in the application of the existing fence?
No. No. Can you hear me?
The existing neighbor's fence? Is that what you're asking, Ken?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. No,
Ken, we're not understanding you.
Fence in the yard.
All right,
of the existing fence in the yard.
Right.
No, I took that down.
Can everybody?
Hey, yeah, that's been torn down.
The fourth to the last page in the application shows fence that he had put up when I noticed what was going on. And that is new fence. The wave fence that Jenny mentioned is on his property, good side facing his neighbor, but that fence, and if you notice on the plot plan, I hash marked where brand new fencing is. So it runs all the way down the side yard, then turns on a 90-degree angle and goes over to the garage. So the wave fence you see on the fourth to the last page is new, and then the same fencing will be progressed over to the garage.
Wait, Steve, the wave fencing is, the wave fencing is not, the wave fencing has no bearing on what I'm asking. I only put that in because that's in the neighborhood around the corner from my house. That's the Santa's house on the corner of Heatherhurst and the backside of Courtney Circle. I am at 3 Courtney Circle running into the Heatherhurst, which is not adjacent to that property in any shape or form. I just put that in for comparison with what was already accepted within the neighborhood.
No, Charles, what I'm explaining is the fourth to last picture of the new fence that you've already had installed. I don't know, I'm assuming that's what Jenny called the wave fence because it goes down and rises and moves with the property to the back of the
No,
property.
that actually doesn't move with the property in the same way. That's a different fence than my fence. That's a different fence. That's around a pool around the corner from our house. Yes, sir.
Charles, the fourth to the last picture in your application shows the new fence that you have put up from the front to the back. It looks like a wave.
Is that the picture that has the umbrellas in it?
No, it's a picture that has your front with the little red picket in between the posts.
Well, then maybe I didn't make enough copies. I have four pictures in front of me of my copy of what I sent you guys.
1, 2,
and
4,
you know,
5,
yeah,
6.
5. Well, then maybe I missed the picture. So I'm agreeing with you, Steve. Okay,
There's
I agree with you.
This is Jenny Searle again. Is there a photograph in your application packet of the fence you're trying to match?
The fence I'm trying to match uses the pickets that are you've previously seen, but they're in a solid formation and they follow the line of the property because our house is on a bit of a slope. So that's where I think, excuse me, I got the fact that you're asking me a question. So yeah, no, I did not include a picture. I thought I had included a picture of that fence, but it runs north to south. The fence that we're talking about as it faces the street runs east to west. And no, I didn't put that piece. I didn't include that picture, possibly.
Any other questions from the board members?
May I just ask one more time to confirm for myself? Charles, you did not include any photograph in your application packet of the fence you want to match. Is that correct? I just want to verify, please, Charles. Don't get frustrated.
Yeah, I know what you're asking me, and basically the fences I said to you were clearly that the pickets were approved and they're on an existing fence, and that is two-sided. As Steve mentioned, or someone asked me, I forgot now because I've gotten lost with this. Our posts are on the inside. We have pickets facing outside. So it's not a mental leap to figure out that it's going to have a same overall look as my neighbor's fence with all of the solid pickets, except that they'll be dog-eared like the pickets you guys have already approved. Okay? So I'll await your decision, and thank you.
Okay, any other questions? discussion.
So yes, so maybe even Steve can help me with this. So the very first picture in our application is this nice fence. Okay. Whose is that? Is this the one they're using? I'm confused. Why is this picture in here? The nice wooden fence. Is that the one they're using?
He just said that's not what he's going to use.
So that's not there. So why is that picture in our application? Just wondering.
Because that is visual from our property for 3 houses on our street. 3. You guys
Okay, so-
approved this within the last 3 years.
Okay, but you're not doing this one. This is not the one you're doing.
No.
Okay.
No. But that was
All
the
right,
example
okay,
I
hold
used to
on.
follow what you approved.
Okay,
Okay.
but I know, we know, you don't have to give us what we've approved. We know that. Okay, so the next picture is the exact same fence. Is this what you're using, or is this what you're doing?
That is a picture, again, from another spot.
Okay,
that's visual
all right,
from
got
the
it.
street, which
So that
makes
has
it,
nothing to do
all
with
right?
you. Okay, so there's 2 pictures
Well, it
in here
does,
that have
because,
nothing.
excuse me, that's not correct statement, because it's far from complete. I use that acceptance of tickets as what I would go with, because the other ones have such a prominent visual appearance on our street.
Okay, but
So
what
they're
I'm
not-
saying, but
they're not-
I don't. But you're not
Yeah.
using the first 2 pictures. That's not what your fence looks like, correct?
My fence is solid of the same picket. Solid. It's not 2-sided, where they cannot see the posts from their house.
Okay, so let's
the
go to the
posts on
third.
my
Let's
house
go to the third picture. The third picture is, I don't know what. What is this third picture of a big white square of some sort? What is this picture of?
I mean, that's a picture of my pickets. That's a picture of my pickets to show that I'm putting up dog-eared fence, dog-eared pickets. So
Okay.
that's to validate that I am using the same as what's so prominently visual from our property. The fourth
Okay, and then
picture
the
is
next
to show you
picture-
what is, that's what I'm getting to, yes.
Okay.
The next picture is to show you what a fence looks like in our neighborhood with pickets all on one side. Mine will be dog-eared. These are not, but there are pickets all on one side.
I don't have that
And that's
picture.
in my,
I
so
don't
you have
that
4
picture.
pictures. You,
six
the
pictures.
property you walked by it. You told me you walked by it and you
I
saw
did.
the fence. And then if you're telling me that that's adjacent to mine, then you probably would have seen the picture at some point. Okay? So
Can
thank you
I-
for all of
can
your
I-
help. I'm gonna, fine.
Can I interject here? Can I interject, please? All right, what
Yep,
he is,
yep,
what he
yep.
he does not have a proper picture. I didn't realize the difference. What he is proposing is a solid dog-ear fence. The other ones that he shows are a staggered 2-sided dog-ear fence. The one he has
Right.
proposed is a solid, all the pickets are tied together, all on one side, posts on the other. It's a solid privacy fence with dog-eared tops, 4 foot high, but all the pickets are together. There is no gap like the pictures he shows. So he is a
So
one.
we don't have a picture of the fence that he's talking about.
I don't believe you have a proper picture of what he actually is proposing, because now that I'm looking at it, it's a solid picket to picket to picket fence versus he's showing the picture of a staggered 2-sided picket fence.
Right.
I don't know
Right,
if you
right.
know,
Okay.
it's up to the board how to deal with it, but the difference is it's still a dog-eared fence, but they're lined up butt to butt, every one of them, versus the staggered one on one side, one on the other.
Okay, it's up to the board members then to vote as to whether we have a good understanding of what this fence would be like. Lisa, do you want to provide a description of what you think it would be like in the motion? And Jeff, is that enough for us to approve this without a visual? Jeff?
No, I'm chiming in. Normally that we would want a visual of what's going in. But if the building inspector can verify from the motion what is to be built, that probably would be sufficient. Question really is whether the board feels that they have enough information to make a decision.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, this
Okay.
is Lisa Cove. This is Lisa Cove. We have an incomplete application here. So
This is
my
Jenny
concern,
Searle. I agree with Lisa.
so my concern is that, you know, it's considered an incomplete application. Whether, I mean, I mean, we can explain this to the Cowcomes home. We don't have what is required to make a decision on this fence. However, I don't feel that we have to drag this on for another month. I mean, if we can get the applicant to send us a photo of the exact fence that he is going to use so that we can see it, I feel comfortable. Jeff, you have to ask us how we do this to prove it once we see it, but I can't do that now.
If you want to do it that way, it requires a special meeting if you're not going to wait a month. You have to meet to approve.
Yeah. Yeah.
And can we meet by Zoom?
Yes.
I can set a meeting in
Yep.
3 days. But if it's allowable, if the applicant send the picture to me right now, I could share my screen with the board and email the board. If that
Okay.
would,
Can the applicant send, do you have that, applicant? Do you have a visual of that?
I can take a picture now and send it to Linda Habib. Sure, right now. Hold on one
Perfect.
second.
Perfect. That would be great.
Okay, I appreciate
Okay.
that. Thank you. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles, take a picture of the side fence that you've already installed.
Village
Yes.
right?
yes.
Yeah.
And
Well, you see, Steve, you're helping me out here. I appreciate that. Hold on. Technology's working in my favor maybe at this point. I just have to be able to send it to Linda. Bear with me.
To village clerk.
Email it
Yeah,
to me.
hold on. Yeah, I'm going to send it. Hold on. Whoop, I got to get into the different
He's
mode.
not listening. He's not.
Boy, I'm
listening,
really not used
Linda.
to this.
Dorothy.
I know. Linda, if you get it, send it to me.
All right.
Okay, so where am I supposed to send this?
Send it to villageclerk@villageofpittsford.com.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Oh, you know what happens when you get to a certain age? You need your glasses after you take the picture because you can't read the screen. You said, I'm sorry, you said Village Court?
Village clerk.
Village clerk.
Oh, clerk. Village clerk I'm sorry, and the ad is at Village of Pittsford?
Villageofpittsford.com.
You're smelly.
Okay, coming right. Fingers only type so fast. I apologize.
I'm going to go off camera for a minute.
Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go.
Come over here. Come over on the other side. No, come over here. Whoop. Sit.
Jenny, what board member are you talking to?
Okay, I have the photo. Give me a second.
Are you going to email the photograph to all of us, Dorothea?
I can, and I can show it on screen. Give
Okay.
me 1 second.
If you can show it on screen, that's probably easier.
Well, some of us aren't on screen, but okay.
Oh, yes, sorry. Sorry, Bill. Then maybe she should email it, Bill.
Yep.
Give me a second.
You have to stop now. Toss off. Go lie down. What? Go lie down.
Hold on. I'm going to email the board. It doesn't appear it wants to cooperate to show. Hold on. Okay, I just sent it to everybody, and I'll still work on sharing my screen.
And you're sending it to our emails, is that
I
correct?
just sent it to your emails.
Okay.
No. Quiet. Hush. Here. Come here.
Okay, I got it. Did everybody get it?
I did not get it.
Be arriving. Oh. Hold on. Bill, I sent that to your village email. Do you need me to send it to your other?
No, send it to my house. I'm not up. I'm up at my house.
Okay.
My personal email.
Probably the problem.
I'm not seeing it on my village email.
Hold on, Jenny.
Okay. Just letting you know.
Nope.
Actually, who's holding? Is Steve? Are you holding that picture up? Somebody's holding the picture up. Who is that? Steve?
Yes.
Okay. Can you guys see that? Can you see the picture that Steve's holding up? Jenny, are you able to see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Bill, are you able to see it or you can't see the screens?
No, I can't see the screen. I'm looking for it on my email.
Okay, hold on. I gotta still sending to you, Bill. I gotta look up your other email.
Bill, I'm forwarding it to you from me.
Oh, okay. To my personal email. Good.
Yeah, I just forwarded to you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you,
good.
Lisa.
Sure.
I haven't quite got. Thank you. I haven't quite got it yet.
W McBride at Harvey Research.
.com, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's the one I sent.
While I'm waiting, would somebody describe it to me? It is a visual of board to board, right?
Yes.
A tiny little space in between the boards.
Very
right?
tiny. They butt up against each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And the finished side goes outside, right?
Correct. Correct.
The structural side is inside.
Correct. Has everybody else gotten the visual? Ken, Mark, Ginny?
All I saw was what Steve was holding up. I'm
I
not
see.
getting it on my village email.
Okay, Ginny, do you feel comfortable with looking at that?
It just resent. You should be getting it.
There it is again. There it is
Well,
again,
it
Ginny.
looks like the finished side's on the inside.
No, it's
No,
on the outside.
it's the outside.
It's the outside. Ken, did you get it?
Yes.
And
And
how about Mark? Mark, did you get it?
I've seen
Yes, I got it.
being held on the I'm fine with that.
Okay. Ginny, are you fine with making a decision on that? Because Bill could always abstain.
Ginny, I just sent it.
No, it's
Yeah,
all right.
I'll
I can-
abstain.
I can see it sufficiently.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion, please. At the meeting of the HPB on
go ahead.
At the meeting of the HPB on September 14th, 2020, I make a motion that we approve as submitted, though, so that will be submitted. The application for fence made by Charles Konar at 3 Courtney Circle. Do I have a second?
But I just like
I'll second.
that the structural part of the fence should face inside the property.
Yeah, and that's what it shows on the application, or on the photo that we're looking at.
That's taken
Well,
from the
should be
adjacent
stated
property,
in the-
not from my property. That's
Correct.
taken from the adjacent property.
Correct.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is the outside of the fence that you see from the street.
This is Jenny. It should be stated in the motion and not just mentioned that we saw a picture that showed that.
Well, this picture is going to be included with the application. So it's not that we just saw the picture, it's going to be in the application.
It's still my opinion that it should be stated in the motion. If you choose not to, that's fine.
Ginny, what would you like to see stated?
That the good side of the fence is out.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
To approve with conditions that the good side of the fence is facing out. Do I have a second?
I second.
I'm going to abstain because I haven't seen it, so somebody
Okay,
else
so
second.
Ken seconds.
Okay,
Okay.
roll call.
Yep.
Chairperson McBride abstained.
I abstain.
Okay, Member Cove,
Yes.
Member Searle,
Yes.
Member Morrow,
Yes.
and Member Harrington.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you,
the
Charles.
motion is approved.
Well, I very much appreciate your patience. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Thank you for putting up with me. And as a 30-year resident in the village, I respect what you guys do. Okay?
Well, thank you so much for taking your time with us, Charles.
Well, that's the way I feel about you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty. Okay, can we go back and pick up one that the applicant was not present for? Is the applicant now present for 19 Eastview Terrace?
Steve Wilson.
Steve?
I don't believe he's on. I tried texting him. He had called me earlier, left me a voicemail. He came to the town hall or the village hall. He thought the meeting was there, and then he's not answering his phone. I've messaged him. I gave him the Zoom number, the go-to number and everything, and have not had a response from him.
Okay, let's just move on to the
then
next one.
We're gonna have to, we'll move on to 37 Courtney Circle. Is that applicant present online?
Yes, yes, Chris Harrington, I'm here.
Oh, good. And would you tell us what your application is about and what you'd like to do?
Yes, sir. So sometime, I think it was in June, we'd contracted with Andersen Windows to have windows replaced in the front part of our house. When we went through the process of it, we were told that these particular windows were approved by the Village of Pittsford. And the reason for that was because of the design, as well as the fact that they were sort of like a wood composite.
And who told you that they were approved?
This was Andersen. Renewal by Andersen is the company that did that.
Oh, Andersen told you they were approved.
Okay.
Yes. So, and that's kind of what started the part of the problem. So we placed our order, and the windows were manufactured, and we had them installed approximately 2 weeks ago. And during the install process, we had somebody from the village come and see that the installation was going on, and contacted us about the fact that we needed approval beforehand. And so we were under the assumption that they'd already been approved, or that Andersen had taken the steps to get them approved before that. So it was kind of a shock to find out that they had not been through that process yet. So they're fully installed. We're trying to go through the process, obviously, to hopefully have them accepted and approved. And if they're not, I'm not sure what to do.
Okay. How many windows are we talking about here?
There were 9 windows.
And they're all visible from the public way, right? The front?
That's correct.
Yeah, I think we're good.
They're all in the front elevation, Bill. This is Ginny Searle. They're all in the front elevation.
Yep. Okay. And what is the difference between the installed windows, the 9 installed windows, and the original windows? What is the material difference, and what is the size difference, and what is the design difference?
Visually, they're almost identical. I think the difference in terms of the type of glass, they're double pane with some sort of gas in the middle, and the construction of them is, I think, a composite of wood and something else that makes them last a lot longer. So when you look at them, they look visually identical, but they're slightly different in their composition.
So they're different. The old windows that you replaced were wood windows. These are a composite. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Bill, this is Ginny Searle. This is Ginny Searle. The material is identified in the application. It's a blend of, I'm reading this, a blend of 40% wood fiber by weight, mostly reclaimed from Andersen manufacturing processes, with 60% thermoplastic polymer. So these are fiberglass with wood fiber.
Okay, so they are not the exact same design as the ones replaced, and they are not the exact same material as the ones replaced. Is that correct?
That's correct. The original ones were built in 1959, I believe. So there's no way to get something exact, but it was the best alternative they had, the closest one.
Excuse me, this is Ginny Searle speaking. Were your original windows the 8 lights over 8 lights? Yes, it looks like they are.
Yes, they were.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're identical in that design to the original.
These, just so that you know, the material, these windows are the same material, composite wood fiber material that we allowed in 15 Line Street. It's not a true fiberglass window. It's not a true wood window. It's a marriage of the two products. And they visually, if I looked at a picture from that, I went around and cataloged all the homes in the village, and the picture before they put the windows in and the picture today look exactly the same. As far as the front elevation of.
Steve, the ones that from Line Street, was that a wood window replaced with this one, or was that a vinyl window replaced with this one?
No, that was also wood replaced with a composite Fibrex material.
And we
Let me make sure Steve, wait a minute. So the one that we're referring to down the street was a wood window visible from the street that was replaced by this same wood composite material. Is that correct?
Correct. Remember, I don't know if anybody remembers when they come in, they actually physically brought in a window. This was before you came in, Jenny, but they physically brought the window in and got it approved by the board.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is Jenny Searle again. Forgive me, applicant, I've forgotten your name. Can you tell me your name again, please?
Yes, Chris Harrington.
Chris Harrington. There are grills in the windows that simulate these are simulated divided light. Where's the grill on the window? Is it applied to the inside, the outside, or is it in between the two panes of glass?
It's in between the two panes of glass.
It's very flat. The Muntin looks very flat. You can tell they're replacement windows from the street.
This is Lisa Cove. I don't ever recall approving a replacement wood window with a semi wood window. I'm interested to know what the justification was for that and why we were able to approve that. Is there anybody who can pull that up for us?
Steve, you have that, right?
No.
Can you refresh our memory?
It's 15 Line Street. I don't have the application or anything, but they brought the window in. Lisa, you may not even been in that meeting at the time. I don't remember, but 15 Line Street, the applicant came in, they redid the whole house. They brought the window in, brought it in, put it right on the desk and showed it to everybody. It's a wood composite material. And if you actually, and I think Jenny probably did a little research on this, these were developed for vintage homes because of the fact that you're trying to keep historical relevance. So the Fibrex material or wood composite material has been developed to simulate the wooden window, the exact look of a wood window, but still have durability.
So is there anybody in the office that's able to pull that up? Because I'm very curious. I just don't ever remember approving
Steve?
a wood window with a non-wood window.
Steve, do you have any recollection of approximately when this happened, which minutes we could look for?
I mean, I think it was last fall, to be honest with you.
Last fall. I mean,
this last fall?
They should be on the website if we could pinpoint it a little bit.
Well, can you pull it up from 15 Line Street?
I'm looking. I'll help you, Linda.
Thank you. I can only handle one screen at a time.
I did contact the company, the rep, and an external grill or muntings can be applied to these windows. To give it the true divided light, external divided light look.
Does anybody have any thoughts while we're waiting? Ken, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking?
Not really clear.
Okay. Mark, do you have any thoughts?
Mark?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any thoughts right now while we're looking?
No, I'm still absorbing, but thank you for asking.
Bill, anything?
I mean,
Okay, before we go further, I'd like to see that previous decision last fall. I don't remember that, but my memory's not that good.
I mean, I just never remember approving a non-wood window when you're replacing it with all wood. And if that's the case, Steve, I think that we should probably have, that in our kind of repertoire as far as when people want to replace windows, that we would approve this, because I don't think we have that listed as an approval.
Well, we have approved non-wood windows replacing wood when they're not visible from the street. I remember
Correct.
that.
Right.
And Steve, where was this other house located?
It's on the
15 Line
corner-
Street.
Yeah, Line Street and Grove Street. It's a little blue house right on the corner.
Lions and Grove. Huh. Is it an old historic house or a younger house?
No, it's an old house. It's in the older section of the village. It's right over by the pickle factory.
Yeah.
Steve,
right.
Steve, is that the one that they did the new porch and it's all brand new?
No, it's a little box blue house right on the corner of Grove Street and Line Street.
Okay. Chris, sorry for the holdup. It's just that we usually don't approve replacement non-wood windows when wood windows were there originally. So we're just trying to find out what happened in that last application.
I don't know that Renewal knew that. I did send them an email. They made it sound like they knew, but for whatever reason, they didn't take care of it in this place. So I don't know. There was something that got dropped on their end, but it obviously wasn't anything we intended to do. We just didn't even think about getting approval.
Oh, sure. I understand. I just hope that it wasn't Anderson's misleading attempt to just, try to slide that through on you.
Right.
Jenny, right. You're familiar with this material and this wood.
I'm not necessarily familiar with this particular material. I read from the application the manufacturer's information about the material. I've seen lots of window manufacturers came in my office with regularity and showed us a wide variety of window types and window materials, and I'm generally familiar with fiberglass windows. I'm going to interject right here that I'm very sorry that the windows have already been changed, because it's my opinion that these windows do not meet the criteria in our design guidelines, the Village of Pittsford's design guidelines. So regardless of what the material is, there are a variety of issues with the windows, including material, that in my mind makes the application and the windows incompatible with our design guidelines.
Jenny, I'm with you on this. I can't recall any discussion that we had anywhere along this line whatsoever. But the idea of Anderson coming back and trying to sell us on something, that's unfortunately what people do when they get desperate.
Yeah,
well,
we've seen this before.
So my question in lieu of time, and Jeff, you'll have to talk to us. I mean, can we table this application? I mean, it's already in, so it's not like they're waiting to put them in. I think that we need to table this application and take a look if we can find this Line Street, and then and revisit this. I just don't think we have enough information.
Let's do that. We're holding up a couple of other applications I'd like to get to. Okay. So
Well,
we'll table it.
I
We're
sure-
looking for that previous application that you referred to, Steve, and when we get that, we'll come back online with these folks. Okay?
So
So, so
Okay, I'd like,
So Lisa asked me a
ahead.
question. My answer would be, I wouldn't want to see you approve these windows without doing the research that ought to be given to it.
correct.
I would,
So can we table this, Jeff, and have him come
Yes,
back on our
yes.
on next month's application?
Yes, if
well,
that's
we
okay
can
with
maybe,
the app. If that's okay with the
if we
applicant.
can pull up that,
Well, Bill,
if we can pull up the previous application now, we can come back to them later on at the end of this session. Can we not?
But- oh, if we could do that, I don't know. But I'm just saying that it's not like we're holding up any construction. The windows are in. So whether he waits for another month until we
Yeah,
talk
okay.
to him
all
again,
right, yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Chris?
So wait, I mean, I'm kind of at your mercy, so I'll do whatever you guys need to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's, we're not holding up, you're not living in a house without windows. So we need
That's
to just
correct,
do a little
yeah.
bit more information on our end because we want to be very fair, to everyone, obviously, and we want to work with you, but we need to get a little more information. So if we put you on for next month's meeting, and then by then we should have everything we need to open this up again. Okay?
Sounds
And
good.
Chris,
Sounds
are
very
all of
good.
the
Thank you.
windows in now?
Yes.
Are all of the windows in now? Are they? Okay. All right.
Yes,
Okay.
they are. Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's table this till next month, and we'll try and get a little more information on what we're doing.
Chris,
Okay.
Do we need to make a motion for that, Jeff?
No, I don't think so. We're just gonna table it. That's fine.
No, we're just
Could I
table it.
Gonna
Could
hold
I
it
ask-
open.
Yeah.
could I ask a question of Mr. Harrington, please? Do you,
Yep.
is it your intention to replace more windows in the house?
No, these were the
I don't know
ones
yet.
that we
I have
wanted
to see what
replaced.
the whole composite looks like.
I'm sorry?
I don't know. I don't have a way of making a judgment on that. I think this is confused enough that I don't feel comfortable making a definitive judgment for the other.
Mark, she's talking to the applicant who is a Harrington.
I know, and I you know what? I give him the benefit of the doubt just because of that.
Okay. So we're tabled.
Appreciate
We're
that, sir.
tabled
Thank
till
you.
next meeting.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
the right way.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay.
Thanks
All
for
right,
your
thank you very
patience.
much.
Okay,
Sure.
I
Good night.
move to the, Jeff, I assume that the 19 East View Terrace is still not present, right?
I am present.
I believe caller number 8 might be Steve Wilson.
Oh,
That's
okay,
that is-
all right.
That's correct.
So, excuse me, hold on for a second, Bill. I mean, Rabia has been waiting patiently for a long time. I really feel comfortable with going on with her and then going back to the applicant for 19 East Futera.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
fine.
okay?
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's, all right. Let's, Steve, we've got one final applicant that we want to review, and then we'll come back to you, okay?
That's fine. Fine. Thank
so-
you.
So stay on the line, okay?
Okay.
So the other application that we haven't reviewed is 83 South Street. Is the applicant present? Hello?
You're on mute.
83 South Street.
Rabia, you're on mute. You're muted.
Can't hear.
Okay, is that 83 South Street online?
She is online. I'm just trying to get her unmuted. Somehow she's muted.
Okay.
Can't change it. It's like
Okay.
something in her connection.
She shows a phone for some reason instead of a
Showing a
microphone.
phone instead. You were a web and now you're. Just sent something to her, so hopefully it'll let her unmute.
Rabia, can you hear us? Okay, sometimes in the bottom of your screen, there'll be something. If you go down to the bottom of your screen, sometimes there's a little thing for microphone or speaker.
Say MIC, Mike.
If you have to like touch your mouse or touch the screen and the mic thing will show up.
Okay, it's saying that you called in. Are you on the
Fabia.
phone? Are you on your cell phone? I think that's part of the problem here. It's saying you didn't enter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it doesn't work together. Get rid of the cell.
See if you can. You might have to call in.
When you move your mouse, the buttons show up on the bottom.
Yeah, she's not getting that. No, because her connection is totally different. She's on a phone connect.
How about if when you touch your screen, that happens?
I think she's recalling in.
Okay.
There, and then her connection changed. Give her a minute.
Isn't technology wonderful?
I love it. Stevenson, can you hear us?
I heard
now?
something.
Yep, she's back.
Oh, I fixed it. Did that work?
Yep, now we can hear you.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Okay.
But hearing you.
Okay, all right. Robbie, can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Good. Would you describe, you have an application in for a solar panel in your backyard. Would you describe what you'd like to do?
Well, they're going to be. Sorry, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
I don't know if it's. Do you want, Steve? Do you want to explain, or is it better if I do it? I have my solar guy on the line too.
I'll be happy to do it. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, what we're proposing to do is put a solar ground mount system behind her garage in her backyard. It's also going to have a battery backup system because Rabia works out of her home, and we want to make sure that she's capable of being able to have power if the power goes down. She needs to have that capability. I gave you guys some drawings and what it's going to look like. We try to position it where, it would be least conspicuous as far as that goes. Her property is fairly shaded, so we had to kind of pick a spot where the sun shines, was the idea behind. And this will power her complete house and property.
Where are her batteries stored, please? This is Jenny Searle. Where are her batteries stored?
Batteries will be in the basement.
Okay.
Can I ask you?
Is that location where you've chosen getting a full sun, good amount of sun without having to take out any trees?
We didn't want to take down a whole bunch of trees. That was the big thing. I mean, where we're positioning it there, it gets probably about 85% of the sun throughout the day.
This is Lisa Cove. Are you taking down any trees?
No.
And if somebody were to move into that house and want to take that out of their backyard, is that removable?
Oh, very much so, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's actually put in with ground screws. So all you got to do is dismantle it and then actually just reverse unscrew the screws right out of the ground.
Yep.
So I was over at the property. This is Lisa Cove. I was over at the property to take a look at the location. And as I'm looking at the picture here, I mean, it's 2 feet off the ground. It's 13 feet wide. I mean, it's pretty big, but I guess if you had a big trampoline in the backyard, it would look the same. I don't know. I'm happy it's not connected to the roof or the house. So that's kind of where I'm going.
We didn't want to do
Okay,
that.
let me take this. Okay, let me take this time to a couple years ago, we spent a lot of time researching solar panels, and what our governing boards around the country and in New York State, the Fed's Department of Interior, the National Trust of Historic Preservation, the New York State Historic Preservation Society, and we established 12 what we call criteria for evaluating these. So I want to read, there's only one of the criteria on this that applies to ground-mounted units. I want to read that. Does everybody have a copy of that, including the applicant?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to read that point number 11, which is the one that's applicable because this is not a building mounted like most of the units are. So I want to read it, and this is the way we need to evaluate this. Point number 11 says, the use of ground-mounted solar harvesting systems is encouraged if it is possible to locate the panels in an inconspicuous location such as the rear or side yard, low to the ground, and reasonably screened to further limit visibility. Care must be taken to respect the historic landscape. So that's the basic principle that we need to evaluate this on. This is different than a roof-mounted solar panel. And I think the application made it fairly clear as to where this would be located in the back of the house. I know that each one of us have gone to the property on Monroe Avenue and looked at on Jefferson Avenue and looked at this from Jefferson Avenue. What I saw from Jefferson Avenue is a great deal of vegetation and brush, not just trees, but brush, low-level brush, that clearly restricted the view to almost nothing from Jefferson, with the exception of one area, which was up on a house to the rear of the property on the left side facing the house, where you have a little visibility of where this would be located. And that's the only visibility that I could see. So I want to open it up to discussion and questions by the board about how they feel about this and what their issues, concerns, thoughts might be. So I'd like everybody to log in their opinion to this. This is an important issue for the board. This is the first time we've entertained a ground-mounted solar unit. And first of all, I want to make sure that everybody understands how this looks. Your description is fairly good. It looks to me as though it rises up 8 feet at its high end from the ground. The whole thing is 2 feet off the ground. And it is, what, about 30 some feet wide. So board members, questions, concerns, issues, discussions. Like everybody to log in on this.
Mark,
who wants to start?
If you don't if you don't unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I can't hear you. You're showing as muted. Sorry.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I've studied solar farms for almost a decade, and my partner was one of the founders of this sort of thing. I think looking at that site when I went by there the other day, looking at it twice, once early in the morning, once towards the evening hour, and once at midnight, I was very, very surprised at the combination of factors that are really, really hard to find, especially in a historic preservation area. And this is we spent so much time going through what needed to be done, what sensitivities were there, how do we crank up sensitivities and crank them down. But having that large open area, I mean, I think that's a gift. That is an absolute gift. And I could not do anything more than support it 1,000%. I don't think you'll ever find a location that is better than that. And it's not better than that, but certainly you may find some that are equal to it. And if you do, given the direction the solar is going, it makes a lot of sense to take advantage of this. It's going to give.
Okay,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Do you think it adversely impacts the historic character of the property?
Absolutely not. You can't see it. You can't see it, period. It's I tried every way that I could to walk around. I guess there's a way to do that, but when you've got 95% plus that is open like this is, I think that's I'll repeat myself, but I think it's a gift. It's a really, really exceptional piece of property for a solar installation. And I think to the extent that at some point in the future, your solar technology is evolving at a pace that is almost inexplicable. And so that's going to continue. The amount of footprint that takes will continue to decrease. Those are ancillary issues, though. In this case, for us, we have no obstruction to what we're doing in terms of historical preservation, and at all. And this sets aside my personal views on the importance of solar farming and of renewables. That's not our issue, because that's not our charge. So I just think I really applaud Rabia, you guys coming in and doing what you've done with this. You recognize the opportunity, and I think it's brilliant. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you. Lisa Cove, would you like to respond to my question?
Sure. I walked the property, and yes, it is obscured. The view is obscured by foliage, but we've never used that as a way of obscuring anything, because we know that trees die and bushes die. And I mean, that little area that you said you could see, I mean, it'd be great if they planted a bush there, so we couldn't.
Exactly.
Logistically, I mean, it's a big, huge solar panel. I mean, it's just a big, huge solar panel. But like I said, I don't think we really can make decisions to what people put in their yard. I mean, I've seen really big, ugly play sets too. And like I said, trampolines and kids' toys and stuff like that. So,
yep.
You know, it's their own private backyard. It's behind the house. I would feel uncomfortable refusing to allow this, because like I said, if it's removable and it has not interrupted the actual integrity or structure of the actual home itself, then I feel okay with it.
Okay. Ken Morrow, your opinion.
Okay, I drove around the house on South and Jefferson, got a look at it. It's one of those houses I never noticed before, probably because it's so secluded. It has a nice secluded yard, and it's a nice looking historic house. I think that for me to approve it with the way it's secluded right now is a go. But I guess my question is, might there be something put in that some future owner, et cetera, might not just cut everything down and then you could see it. Now, if the future owner cut everything down on Jefferson, they'd probably get a lot of more noise. So anyway, that's my input into it. So, once again, it is a nice house. It's a nice.
Okay,
Chairman, may I add one more thing, please?
Pardon me?
Chairman, may I add one more thing, please?
Yep.
The structure of that group of solar panels is highly efficient. This is not like you're having a massive solar farm in the middle of something. Not at all. The way it's set up is very, very efficient. Personally, I really don't like a lot of the people that are retail solar dealers. I think they're sort of, economically they're con artists, but that's up to somebody else to decide. But I do see that there's what they've done in this is very smart. You could, because of that pyramidal effect, you could actually go in and build out from that a group of shrubs that would completely hide that, evergreen shrubs that would completely hide it. And so I just personally think that's why I went back to it 3 times. I went back at midnight. I went back at in the evening and then in the morning, because I was just astounded. It's perfect. It's absolutely everything one could ask for. For us, forget about the personal opinions about solar energy. It doesn't matter. I mean, we're not here to do that.
Yeah. Okay. That's irrelevant. Ken, I want you to answer the same question we ask, and that is, do you think the way it exists, the way it's proposed, does it adversely impact the historic character of the property?
No.
Okay. Lisa. Lisa's already commented. Ginny, your comments, please.
I agree that the as proposed and as located has no impact on the historic resource. What I am concerned about is the screening on Jefferson Road, and I agree it's well screened right now, but a lot of there are 3 good-sized trees. I think I counted 3 trunks at the southeast corner, the most easterly of the south corners. And then there's a lot of volunteer growth by way of trees, look like volunteer trees, but there's also ivy growing on trees, on the big trees, which will kill those trees if you don't get the ivy off. There's also a lot of, sorry, I'm going to call them weeds. I'm pretty sure they're weeds. I was on the other side of the street because I was walking with my dog. But I would request that the owner clear away the brush and the weeds and select some of the smaller trees that you want to choose to retain. And then on the in-property side of all the big trees there, that some permanent or more permanent evergreen shrubs that might be, I don't know, might at their mature height be about 6 to 8 feet high, so that as you drive along Jefferson Road, the array will not be visible. What I am requesting or suggesting is more thoughtful and more permanent vegetative screening at Jefferson Road.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the same question.
It's haphazard and not intentional in any way.
As it exists right now, Ginny, do you think that the proposal adversely impacts the historic character of the property?
No, I do not.
As it exists right now.
I stated that at the get-go, and I agree with Mark regarding the positive nature of the application. I'm perfectly happy to approve the application, but I would like to see more thoughtful and more permanent screening on Jefferson Road.
Okay, Jeff Turner, our legal counsel. Do we have the ability to require that screening on Jefferson Road of that backyard be reasonably maintained? Can we make
Yes.
that part of the approval process?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Ginny, and Jeff and Bill, what do you mean by reasonably maintained? Because what's there right now that's doing a lot of the screening appears to me to be a lot of weeds, which are great. Don't get me wrong, I've got a ton of weeds in my yard, and there are weed trees and volunteer trees that are a very good barrier between my yard and my neighbor's yard. But that's my backyard, it's not my front yard, and nobody sees it. And when we did clear the debris, my neighbors were really irritated because then we could see in their yard.
Okay, so we can work up some language, I think, that defines reasonable maintenance in the future as part of the approval process.
And planting additional evergreen screening, in my opinion.
I agree with that completely.
And Jeff, we can do that?
Part of the guidelines that you've got, that you cited 11, and that's what that says. We can require reasonable screening. Question is, what is reasonable?
And if the last line says historic landscape, and I would not consider the volunteer trees and weeds that are there right now to be historic landscape.
Well, okay, so we got to wrestle with what is reasonable screen, how we define reasonable maintenance of reasonable screening. Boy, that's.
Could I ask? This is Jenny. Could I ask Steve a question, please? Steve, may I ask you a question, please? In other instances where something needs to be screened, for instance, when I worked at the First Presbyterian Church after the fire, they put in a generator, it had to be screened. And I know that in my practice, that vegetative screening was used to disguise mechanical equipment outside as a regular thing. What are the village's parameters? What are the village's code requirements for screening something of this sort, some other mechanical equipment?
I don't know where that other noise is coming from here, but it doesn't specify the material used for screening. It just specifies that it needs to be screened.
Okay, let me throw this out. Could we require a solid wood fence, as we talked about in the previous application, be put against Jefferson Road?
Personally, I think a vegetative screen is better and probably longer lasting.
I agree with that.
Well, it is, but how do you we got a tough issue of how you define reasonable screening and maintenance.
Perhaps we could address the installation of the array separately, and in the next month, I can do some research on landscaping shrubs that would be evergreen and approximately the right height, and what the spacing might be given their mature size, that sort of thing.
If we do this,
or perhaps
if we do this, I'd like to
have some thoughts. Perhaps the applicant has some thoughts about. I mean, I think the board has expressed an interest in seeing some additional screening or more permanent screening. Maybe the applicant would like to have weigh in on that preference and we can leave that part of the application open.
My thoughts were, I had been thinking, like, I don't know in the wintertime, how much that will die down. I was thinking arborvitaes might work. That seemed, although I don't know how high they get fully, if that would cover it. I think they would.
Rubina?
Rabia.
Yeah. Arborvitae get quite tall. I would think you would want something that would stay low enough that you would not be putting in something that would shade your array. There are lots of evergreen shrubs that will stay 6 to 8 feet high. I just don't know. I don't know what they are without looking them up.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I'm open to, whatever you suggest when it comes to that.
Then I would suggest that
I can bring my gardening books and we can look through them if you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff. Jeff, you were about to say?
My suggestion is that the motion anticipate that there will be satisfactory screening to be dealt with at the next meeting. But the array
I like
can be
that.
approved.
Yeah, I like that. We got to do some homework. Yeah, I like that.
I think Jenny and the applicant just said they do the homework.
I'll be happy to meet with her.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, all right. Lisa, can you condense this into a motion for approval of the unit or not, open to approval then in the future of the screening?
So wait, let me get this clarified. So are we approving or not approving the solar panel, and then putting in our own policy that we need to place obscure? I mean, I don't understand. Are we approving
Lisa,
it as submitted?
Lisa, my suggestion is that it's going to be approved as submitted with a condition of maintaining suitable screening to be agreed upon or proposed by the applicant and left open for the next meeting. So it's going to be approved with a condition.
Sounds good.
So they're gonna come back with the condition next meeting?
They're going to come back to fulfill the condition next meeting. The condition is suitable screening. And that will be defined more specifically at the next meeting.
Okay. All right. Are you ready?
Yep. We're ready.
Okay. So at the meeting of September 14, 2020, the following motion was made. I make a motion to approve with conditions the application of solar panel made by Rabia Stevenson at the property. Oh my gosh, where's the property? Wait, the property is
63 Jefferson.
83 South Street.
83 Jefferson.
With condition for suitable screening approval defined at next meeting by the HPB board. Do I have a second?
Second.
I second.
All right, so Mark is a second. Chairman McBride?
I vote yes.
Lisa? Yes. Mark?
Mark?
Harrington?
Yes.
And Ken?
Yes.
And Ginny?
Yes.
Okay, so moved.
Good.
Rabia?
Yeah.
Rabia, if you call the village office, they can give you my my village email address.
Okay, and then we can figure that out.
Yeah.
Yep. And I invite all members of the board to have thoughts on how we can set up a lasting screening here.
How we can do what, Bill?
Mark, did you want to participate in that also?
Yeah, I think we all ought to. I'd like to, yeah.
Okay. Board members, if you have thoughts on it, please send them to me.
Can I make a suggestion? Can everybody please mute yourself unless you're talking, please? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a problem. Everybody needs to be muted. Okay, so that's the way we'll leave it. And Ginny, you're the quarterback on putting this proposal together on how we might go about putting up a lasting and enduring block, visual block
That's fine.
along Jefferson.
I'm happy to do that.
Let's please involve the applicant in this and see if they have some thoughts.
Yep, she and I are going to meet first. And board members,
Good.
send your thoughts to me, and we can, I'll distribute the thoughts that Rabin and I come up with.
Good. Okay, good. All right. So be it. We go back now to 19 Eastview Terrace. If the applicant is still on board.
I am here.
Good. Okay. I'm sorry. We're ready to. Would you describe what your application is about? What you'd like to do, please.
From what I understand, I have replaced the steps that lead up to the front of my house, and they were badly deteriorated. And I put two pillars at the top of those steps, or a rather steep incline, and I purchased they're colonial style lights. I was very specific when I was looking for lights that they'd be colonial and that they have colonial candle bulbs in them, not regular bulbs. And Steve was concerned that I needed to have approval for the lighting on the front of the house. So I believe that is what is in question.
Okay, so it's only the lighting on top of the existing two pillars.
Correct.
Is that correct?
No.
So.
Okay.
No, the issue is the whole visual, the pillars that are new to the front, as well as the pillars, the rails, and the lights are all new to the front of the property.
So are the stairs. Excuse me, this is Ginny. The stairs are new.
Yes. As I said, everything in that front.
Everything is new. The stairs at the house with railings and the stairs going down to the street along with the piers and the lights.
Yes.
Now there were stairs. There were stairs there. In fact, they were covered up with dirt and ivy. And when I looked at the house, I purchased the house in the spring. When I toured the house, the realtor made it clear to me that the owner had sealed the front door. And when I went through the house, his computer office was right inside the front door. And I said, I'm not too crazy about this. I don't think architecturally it looks right for this style of house. So I uncovered the walk and the stairs, which had badly deteriorated under the dirt and the ivy. So, but there were stairs there, in fact.
Right.
Excuse
me, this is Ginny
You
Searle.
replaced those stairs with the same material, right? They're concrete?
No.
This is an English concrete stone.
Okay. And those pillars, you did not come before the board to put those pillars in, right?
I did not, and I did not realize that. I do apologize.
Mm-hmm.
I had a conversation. I had a conversation with Steve a while back regarding I had a permit for something that had to do with my fireplace, and I said I am going to be replacing the walk and stairs out front, and he indicated that I didn't need permits, and I really wasn't aware of your board at that time being new to the village.
So we are evaluating and ruling on the replacement of the stairs with a different material, with the placement of the pyramids that are in there, in addition to the lights on top of the pyramid. Is that correct? Steve, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
This is Ginny. The handrails also, Bill, handrails.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah.
and
Were
stairs.
there handrails there before?
Well, because the stairs were covered over in dirt, I don't know what was originally there. My concern was because of the elevation of my house, those steps are rather steep, and that's why I put the handrails in.
Mm-hmm.
Railings are required, as is, Bill. Also, the stairs right at the house have been replaced, as have the handrails there. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson and Steve?
If you look at the application, there's a picture of the house as it was in 2004, and it shows the front door and front steps as it was prior to anything being done.
Right, looks like brick.
The way it was until the changes were made. And I did not realize in talking to him, and when he was doing the landscaping, he was working around back. When I talked to him, I thought he was just replacing a kind. And then once, I mean, they were quick. The gentlemen were very good at what they did. I was there, one day, and 2 days later, the pillars are up and the whole new front area was done. So at that point, I approached him and said, we need to take a look at this.
Yeah. Let me ask Ginny this. The pillars and the lights, do you find those consistent with the architectural design of the house?
Well, this is a pretty modest house, and those are a little more high style than might be appropriate, but I don't think they negatively impact the historic resource. I think they're okay. I don't have an issue with any of this, except that I want to be sure he reinstalls ivy or something else, or his stairs are going to wash out.
Yeah, yes, and that will be all landscaped up the side of those. I'm putting boxwood in, and we're letting the ivy grow back over to the stairway itself.
Encourage it quickly before it rains very hard.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is Lisa
thoughts,
Cove.
Feelings?
This is Lisa Cove. I have a question. I'm looking at the new picture. It's quite elaborate. A lot of work there. Very pretty. Very different. It makes a very much more grand entrance to the home. The stairs, the lower stairs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Was there that many stairs originally? Or like, why are there so many stairs as compared to what I saw in the last picture?
I believe there were. I do have a picture of what the stairs looked like. They were I couldn't even, what was left of them, I couldn't even walk up and down. They were so narrow. But I believe that there were 5 or 6 steps there, yes.
So you do have a picture of what it looked like before?
You have a picture, Lisa, in the application.
Yeah, I have a picture.
Yeah, there's.
Well, I can only see the one that says 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can only see, half the stairs are cut off. I don't know how many stairs are there, but.
I will say this.
I'm not sure how is that relevant, Lisa?
Well, it's relevant because I'm just saying that I'm just trying to match kind of the feel and the character of what's there. I mean, it's very different than what was there before. Much more elaborate. Like I said, much grander.
Lisa?
If you look at the picture in the house listing of Historic Pittsburgh,
yeah,
you can see about 4 stairs, and that's not all the stairs.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I see it.
The stairs that were there before were technically not legal. They were too shallow.
Yep.
The stairs that have been installed now meet code as far as the depth of the tread versus the old ones were too shallow and dangerous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The depth of the tread and the slope.
This is Lisa Cove again. Is the walkway pavers or stamped concrete, or what is the material on that walkway?
They're individually laid pavers.
Are they
Thank you.
stone or concrete? This is Jenny
They're-
Searle. Are they stone or concrete?
I believe that they're stone. Yes.
They're all stone.
Okay, this is Jenny again. Thank you, Steve, for that explanation for Lisa. Lisa, what was allowable for stairs when this house was built and those stairs were put in is much different than the code requirements now. And as Steve said, in order to meet current code, there's going to be a specific number of stairs that have to be there, and they have to be there.
Okay, thank you, Jenny.
You can't put in fewer
That's a
than
good
that.
point. Yeah,
Yep, thanks.
good point. Okay, any other thoughts? Mark, have any thoughts?
No, I think everybody's touched on it pretty well, and I think it comes with the territory that sometimes when things were constructed like that, they weren't up to, let's say, the proper code, and
right.
today, but it's hindsight 2020. So I think rectifying that makes a lot of sense.
And you don't think that the pillars and the total design is out of character with the historic character of the house?
It's touchy at the edge, in my opinion, but it's certainly an improvement. And is it going to disrupt the architectural character? Not in my opinion, just my personal opinion.
Okay.
This is Lisa Cole. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just had a question
Go
about
ahead.
the lights, that they're the lights at the top of the pillars. That out of all of this is a bit concerning to me, only because I could see lights on the house themselves, but I don't know about the pillars. But I don't know thoughts on that.
This is Jenny again. I think it's relatively common in historic homes for there to be outside lights. In my neighborhood, I know my house used to have a light at the street. There are 2 houses on my street that have lights, and this is all like 1912 to 1925. I'm not looking at the blue sheets, so I don't know exactly when this house was built, but I would think about that same time. Steve, what about the illumination? Are these night cutoff lights, and is that sort of thing required for exterior lights on a residence in the village? What about light bleeding onto other properties? Are they?
Those lights have a small candelabra style bulb in them. They are not like a 100-watt bulb. They are basically accent lighting to show the stairs. So if somebody was walking up and down, they can see without tripping and falling. They are very low illumination, and those lights should not spread onto any other property.
Okay. Thank you for verifying that. That's what I thought.
It's good.
By the way, we have a history of approving lights like that, not necessarily on those same pillars, but where they need to illuminate the sidewalks into the house. Okay, Ken, you have any thoughts you want to add?
No, I don't. I'd just like to point out that whoever built this house had a positive outlook because they built it in the very bottom of the Great Depression.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
1933.
I mean, not the current one, but the one that we went through 50 years ago.
Hey, what?
Okay, Lisa, would you like to make a motion on this?
Sure.
Formulate a motion.
At a meeting at the HPB on September 14th, 2020, the following motion was made. I make a motion that the HPB approve as submitted the application for landscape stairs, pillars, and lights made by Steve Wilson for the property located at 19 Eastview Terrace. Do I have a second?
This is
I
Jenny.
second.
Ginny,
Is that-
second?
does-
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, Jenny, second.
Hold on.
Jenny?
This is John. Does that motion include the new steps and railing on the porch?
Well,
on the front
I
lawn?
put landscape, stairs, pillars, lights, and I'll put railing. How's that? Is that covered?
It's everything
Jeff?
that was in the application, Jeff.
Right. That was all the application.
Okay.
Thank you. Do I have, Bill, what do you vote?
I vote yes.
Lisa will vote yes. Mark? Mark?
Yeah.
Thank
Mark?
you. Ken?
Yes.
Ginny?
Yes.
Okay, approved.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, that concludes all of our reviews.
We have minutes.
Yes, we have minutes from August, right?
Yes, and Ginny, you were gonna add some,
I've decided it's not, let's just do it. Let's just leave them as they are.
oh, I didn't have those on the agenda, now I can't remember. I'll put them on next month.
Okay.
So tonight we have 8:10 and 8:14.
Okay, and nobody has any changes or additions to make to that? Okay. Everybody ready to vote for approval?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the minutes of 8:10 and 8:14. Do I have a second?
I second Lisa Cove.
Seconded.
Okay. Lisa Cove, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. Bill McBride, I vote yes. Ken Morrow, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay.
Mark?
Ginny Searle, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Mark Harrington, how do you vote?
I have to abstain because I wasn't present at either of those because it's a medical problem.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, right. You don't get to talk. Okay, so it's approved. They're
Thank you.
approved.
Great.
And that concludes this meeting. Let me just say I'm real happy with the way we handled the 83 South Street solar panels. I think that's a good resolution, good decision on our part. Congratulations.
And Jenny, what I'd like to do is just the two of us sort of get together and take a look at what the foliage is like, how much is deciduous, how much is evergreen, and what we sort of look at and to speculate will be what it looks like in midwinter.
Okay.
You know what? We might want to. That's a good point, and we might want to. I've done a lot of work with Wayside Garden. They're authorities on that sort of thing. Maybe they would come out and take a look at that for us and give us their opinion on how to address it. Does that sound like a good idea?
Are you going to pay them?
I'm going to try and beg them to do it free if I give them some more business in the future.
Bill, why don't you let us take a
all
look
right,
at it first?
Okay.
Can I address the board real quick?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. The window application. This is a little touchy, difficult situation for a homeowner who already had the windows in that I caught. But I wanted to point out that neighborhood, the Courtney Circle, Heatherhurst neighborhood, is a post-war neighborhood built in the 50s and 60s. If you drive through that neighborhood, there are many houses with aluminum, vinyl windows, steel doors. So I think, I would hope we take that into consideration, being as that neighborhood is different. I mean, it's still in a historic preservation district.
Yep.
But comparatively to the neighborhood and the rest of the houses in that tract, he's not doing anything out of character of probably what 75% of the homes in that neighborhood are. So it's just something I want people to keep in mind.
Okay, I would like.
It's a little bit complicated because I have a daughter who lives in that neighborhood. Some of the houses in that neighborhood, when they were built in the 60s and 70s, have non-wood visible windows, and some have wood. So there is a mixture of materials in that neighborhood that's original to those houses.
Before that neighborhood was included in the historic district in the village, and this was back when I was on the board in the 90s and early 2000s. Lots of changes had been made to those homes before approvals were required and when standards were not what they are today. I will encourage everyone to look at your design standards. If you don't have them, they're available on the village website. And look not only at windows, but look also at the section of post-war houses. Because regardless of what's gone on in the past, the basis for the decision, whatever decision we make, needs to be based on the current design guidelines that they are the guidelines. They are what tell us what can and should be allowed. So I think it would be very difficult to tell him he has to take all those windows out. On the other hand, simply approving something because it was approved in the past when the requirements for review were different than they are now is a separate thing. And I don't think there's a good reason to make the same, I don't believe we need to make the same decision that was made in the past, or whether windows were replaced at a time when approvals were not required. I think you have to look at every application individually. I think you have to look at each property individually. And I also think that you need to know and understand the guidelines that are now part of your ordinance. The documents have been written by the village, adopted by the village, and they are the guidelines for decision making, and that's a valid basis for review.
Jenny, this is Lee.
And to your point, Jenny, to your point, about 3 years ago, we caught somebody, this is before Steve, about 3 years ago, we caught somebody replacing wood windows all around the house. They replaced them on the back. They were moving out in front. They started to replace some of them in front. We made them take those vinyl windows out and put in wood windows in where it was visible. So we have a history.
Bill, this is Lisa, to add on to that. If you recall, that one house very close to Courtney Circle, that area, they have replaced their wood siding, remember, with all vinyl. And we made them take all that siding down.
Well, I want to tell you, you're way better than the town, because on my street, a beautiful little house that was a Sears house. I mean, I have the advertisement for the house with the original blueprint on the house. It was a Sears house. It came on the train from Sears, and they built it. And when the new owner came in, she was doing a great deal of renovation, and every window in the place was replaced and on the curb, and they were turned into the town after the work was down, and the town just said, okay, so go village.
Right. You are very correct. Just because a mistake was made before doesn't mean you have to make it or should make it again if something was approved before that shouldn't be. But part of the, as far as my understanding for historic preservation, is a material that was available at the time of construction. And the fibrous material has been around for about 60 years right now. So I just want that to be taken into consideration.
I'm not sure it was available in window production, Steve. I think that fiberglass and fibrous materials, wood fiber materials in particular, are relatively new. But this is a discussion for another time.
Yep. Well, I did research on it just to find out when it was first introduced to the market. And it was around 1960 that Fibrex first came on on the horizon.
Mhm. Thank you.
And-
That's useful
Okay,
information.
so we all have to give some thought to that, as we do to the vegetation situation, on Jefferson.
Okay.
I'd just like to add, and this isn't for the Courtney Circle application, but in general, I feel that this fibrous material is like a way for this window manufacturer to take their byproduct wood, combine it with, you know, hydrocarbons, and then
Yeah.
portray it as a wood window. I think it's, doesn't cut the cake. You know,
No,
so
they're
maybe-
salesmen, you know, they're out to sell their stuff, that's all.
Well, sure they are. They're painting it as like this, you know, historic thing, which I don't really think it is. You know, because it's something like 60%, you know, oil and 40% wood.
Yep.
You know, so it has some nice benefits of it doesn't fail or rot or this or that. And maybe it looks like wood. I don't recall seeing it, but you
It
know,
doesn't
it's
look like wood.
right.
Well,
Looks like wood.
I'll just tell you what Mr. Barrow of Barrow Architecture used to say. When someone proposed using a brand new material, he'd say, okay, show me someplace where it's been up and in service for 50 years, and then I'll tell you whether it's any good.
Yeah, I know, we've faced that, yeah. Okay, well, everybody has a chance to put their thoughts down and send them out to the board on that, as well as the vegetation issue. So let's get everybody involved in decisions on that.
Can I just answer?
Okay.
I hope the
I don't, sorry. I don't mean to be intrusive on this at all, but I have to take things very easily for a while. And so if you don't mind, I'm going to sort of sign off for now.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep, okay. I'm going to, matter of fact, I'm going to close the, adjourn.
You guys keep going as long as you want. Thank you very much.
No, we're finished. Okay, I hereby adjourn this meeting.
Thanks, Dorothea.
Thanks, Night, folks.
Thank you.
Dorothea.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
folks.
everybody.
Bye-bye.